This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West, reminding you to go subscribe to thepowermagazine.com. Get yourself a subscription to the most powerful magazine on the planet. Also, make sure that you like this on Facebook. I'm going to wait till I get about 25 likes before I proceed to answer any further questions and post up another one on Facebook. So I want to make sure you guys are responding and interacting, and if anyone has any questions, that's also another way to interact. But make sure that you like it so we can get 25 likes at least, and then I'll move on from there. Be sure to also subscribe to my YouTube page, which is youtube.com/supertraining06. Okay, enough of the BS, enough of the plug-in, and don't forget to buy a slingshot from howmuchyoubench.net. That's it for all the plug-in for now, and let's go on to the questions. We got a great question here from Terminator. Terminator says he's a natural power lifter. He's not trying to criticize anyone who uses anything, but he finds it difficult to compare himself to great power lifters because he never knows who's doing what. So how strong do you think someone can be while being a natural lifter? Man, that is a loaded question. But first things first, I would suggest that you go and check out Bigger, Stronger, Faster. That'll help clear the air for you. I have a little tip that I think I have some advice that I think would help you, and it would help a lot of other people. It's a suggestion I said years ago, and I stand by it, that if you see somebody that's around 220 pounds and they're 10% body fat or under, then you can pretty much conclude that they're probably using some sort of enhancement. Again, that's not trying to place judgment on people. People are going to do what they want to do. People are going to do the things they want to do to get ahead. And for some people, it's an easy decision to do it. For other people, it's a moral decision, and they don't want to do it. So, again, 220 pounds, about 10% body fat. I know I'll catch a lot of flack for that. People say all kinds of crazy shit about me because of it, but that's really the kind of rule of thumb. Obviously, your height is going to be a factor in there. If you're 6'6" or something like that, then being 220 or something like that is going to be very easy, and being that lean will also be very easy. But if it's if it walks like a duck, then it might be a duck. One way of also telling is if somebody has some sort of huge increase out of nowhere. If they say, "Hey, I went to a meet and I did an 1,800-pound total," and then the next meet they say, "Hey, I did a meet and I did a 2,000-pound total," and they said, "Hey, I just did another meet and I did a 2,200-pound total," and so on. They're really climbing the ladder pretty fast, and that's very unusual. So that would probably also be another indication. Guys like Mike Teixeira, he's a guy that lifts in a tested federation. Guys like Brad Gillingham, he also lifts in a tested federation. So while you can't really say that certain athletes are 100% drug-free, only they really know the truth, and maybe a couple or close people around them know the truth. But those guys have been tested many times, and Brad Gillingham has deadlifted over 830 pounds 50 times in competition. Mike Teixeira has deadlifted well over 800 pounds many times in competition, and is one of the strongest 275-pound power lifters on the planet. He weighs about 260 pounds. So if you want to be compared to people, you want to compare yourself to people, then get into a drug-tested federation. And the only one that I think is worth anything would be the USAPL. I'm not saying that lifters in there are drug-free. I'm saying that they're tested, and so there's at least some sort of regulation there. Also, you kind of said you're not sure who's doing what, amongst the great powerlifters. The great powerlifters, the biggest lifts of all time, you can pretty much, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus here, but you could pretty much bet your ass that they're probably using something that you cannot buy at GNC. Let's just put it that way. Hopefully that helps clear the air for you, Terminator. I'm not afraid of any questions that anyone has. I think this stuff is really important. This is all part of the Power Project, and this is the part of keeping it real and making sure people understand all aspects of fitness and all aspects of strength. Strength comes in many forms. Fitness comes in many forms, and there's a lot of elements to this whole puzzle. That you don't often hear people talk about because of propaganda and for people wanting to sell products and things of that nature. But through hard work and through dedication and consistency, there's a lot you can achieve. I've mentioned before, I'm not trying to brag about it, but I also know many other lifters and many other great athletes who have experienced the same thing. Before I ever touched anything, I did a 225-pound bench press for 40 reps, ran a 4.5 40. I was pretty athletic, was able to do pretty well with the shot put and discus and things like that. So it was never a challenge for me. Not that it wasn't a challenge. Things were difficult, obviously, but being athletic and being strong and being explosive and being fast was something that came natural to me after I put in the hard work. It was something that was probably already there for whatever reason, and I was able to kind of capture it at the right moment, and I was able to train it, and I was able to bring it up to a certain level. So whatever level you're going to reach is kind of almost predetermined in a way, which kind of sucks, but it's somewhat predetermined. Through hard work, dedication, everything else, you can make some major improvements. I remember playing Pop Warner football, not being able to run my fat ass across the field. I think we did 4 laps, I think it was, around the field goal post. So, 100 yards, basically times 4, or 110 yards times 4. It's not that far, but at 13 and being as heavy as I was, that was a long journey, and I said to myself that day, this will never happen to me again. I will never feel this kind of disappointment. I will start to work out, and I will start to train. And through my little Rocky montage, I did prevail. The next year I came out for the team, and I was kind of ahead of the pack as far as the running was going, which can't be said anymore because I can't run. I can't get out of my own way these days. But the point is that we're all given a certain genetic potential, but even with that genetic potential, even if it's not great, it can be fixed, it can be worked on, you can make improvements. Don't think that you have to resort to drugs to get the results that you're looking for. And again, if you want to be compared to other athletes that are at least tested, then I would go to a federation where they're tested. And that ought to help ease your mind a little bit. I know a lot of lifters that don't want to compete against people that they think are on, so they go to the USAPL. Again, I'm not saying that those athletes are 100% drug-free, but they are tested, and there's some regulations, and that's going to keep some people away. You can't keep everybody from cheating. They're going to do it no matter what. But again, it just kind of helps regulate things. So, Terminator, that's it from supertraining.tv. Again, folks, don't forget to like this on Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe to thepowermagazine.com and to my YouTube page, or I'll kill your whole face. Oh, last thing, I got one more thing for you. We got a cliffhanger tonight. We're going to try something new. Those of you who have seen footage of Big Roy Bradshaw, I'm going to reveal in the next clip how much Big Roy Bradshaw actually weighed when he did his 903